my Trishies fishies! Welcome back! I know y'all hate when I do that, so I just had to do it. Sorry! Hop on board, my Trishies fishies! Why did I start that? Like, in what world did I think that was okay to call my audience Trishies? I don't know. Anyway, today I have a Red Bull, and if you know anything about me, you know that I love Red Bull, and I haven't had one in quite some time now. That means probably like a couple days, but no, I think honestly maybe 2 weeks, a week, I don't know. But either way, this is bigger than my head. That's that. It's also dripping. You know the infomercials whenever they're like wet? Don't take that out of context, but you know what I mean? It's like a lot of liquid here. But guys, today we are going to be this is literally fucking like soaking wet. Not loving that. And we are going to be pouring it. But anyway, we gotta talk about Ryland and Morgan because they've kind of just, you know, been involved in this drama that's happening with Shane because they're the people who see him most often. And so a lot of people, you know, just kind of categorize them into one, which I don't know how much I respect that whenever it comes to Morgan, because in my opinion, is she really involved? Yes, but at the same time, she didn't really ask to be involved. Morgan to me is kind of an iffy one, because I'm like, Ryland is choosing to be with Shane, and he sees the stuff that's been resurfaced. He's been with Shane through multiple cancellations now, but Morgan, in my opinion, is still quite new to it, and so I'm trying not to, you know, focus on Morgan as much as I'm focusing on Ryland, because I believe that, you know, Ryland is Shane's little piggy bank. No, it's the other way about, right? Yes. Shane makes the money for Ryland, and Ryland loves that. Ryland gets his Gucci shoes. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, Ryland, to me, is someone that we need to focus on more than Morgan, just because Morgan is like, most of the time she doesn't even live with these people. You know what I mean? She lived with them, and then she moved out. Morgan, to me, seems to care more about the family than she does, you know, the YouTube business, and which I respect that, because she's been thrown into a world where I'm never gonna fucking drink this, you know what I mean? I like keep lifting it up and I keep talking. Can I just, you know what I mean? Morgan was thrown into the world with the king of YouTube, you know, the self-proclaimed king of YouTube, Shane Dawson, in his house. Her brother is engaged to the king of YouTube as well. Self-proclaimed. I'm not saying that. Self-proclaimed by Shane. He actually calls himself the queen of YouTube, so okay. She was thrown into that world in literally the same environment, and to my knowledge, she's quite, I mean, very unproblematic, and she moved away with her family again, and she still does videos, but just, she seems to mind her own business, and I respect that, and especially in the Shane Jeffree series, she said that she went on a business trip, and she didn't fit in with the other influencers there because their intentions for going on the trip were not hers, and they were trying to be overly pretty, and she was just there to have a good time, and I fully respected that, and I was like, you know what? Maybe there's someone in Ryland's family who I will actually like. Because if you keep in mind, remember Ryland's dad did a big post defending Shane, which we knew he was gonna because that's Ryland's income mostly. So of course he's gonna defend Shane, but he really didn't need to speak up about it. But Morgan, for the most part, just kind of stayed silent throughout that entire thing, which I think was best for her to do, career-wise. Yeah. But we're gonna look at something that's really interesting, right? So for a little bit of context, Morgan Adams does not upload to YouTube much. She normally uploads like once a month, maybe twice a month, and in her peak kind of uploaded. And by peak, I don't mean peak as popular, I mean peak uploading. She uploaded around 3 to 4 videos a month, I'm pretty sure. And Morgan's videos are actually very good. She reminds me of old YouTube, you know, 2013, just there, having fun, and I like that about her, I'm gonna be dead honest. And Ryland, on the other hand, was a bit more active on YouTube, because again, that is his job. So that's kind of important on what we're gonna talk about now. So after the full scandal with Shane happened, it's weird calling it a scandal, because I feel like it was too much to just put it off as scandal, right? How are we feeling about that? I feel like just calling it scandal is like a bit, you know what I mean? Because the stuff that was coming forward was, yeah. Allegedly. Right? Let's just say the stuff coming out against Shane, but like, the most it's ever done. This was in peak July, and now if you remember, Shane uploaded his taking accountability video, and honestly, what I genuinely believe they wanted to happen was that video would go down well, because Shane literally said that the reason he did his video, his taking accountability video, was because Jenna Marbles did her A Message video, and it was received really well. But here's the thing, Jenna Marbles has not done the thing Shane Dawson has done. Let's get that out of the way. I also don't think that that point was made as big as it probably should have been. Shane Dawson literally said, after weeks upon weeks of this old stuff being resurfaced, he said that the only reason he did his video was because Jenna Marbles inspired him to do it. Bitch, keep the Queen's name out your mouth. But secondly, why should it take, and I said this back in July, quote me, I said, why did it have to take Jenna Marbles posting her video for you to want to take accountability, which you didn't even do in that video? But we've been through that enough, you know what I mean? Whereas Jenna Marbles posted her video and has left the internet, RIP, love you Jenna, Please come back. I love Jenna so much. Anyway, I believe that Shane wanted to post his video and then in the upcoming weeks come back to YouTube again. And obviously, as I said, video was not received well and he kind of just went on a break. That was until Taddy Westbrook posted her video and he went on that infamous Instagram live. You know that, she's a fucking liar! Sorry. Sorry, he didn't say that, sorry. Let me just preface that by saying that. He went, she's so fucking I haven't done that impression since like July. Sorry. He did that infamous Instagram live. That didn't go down well, to say the least. And in that Instagram live, it's important to note that Ryland was actively telling Shane, get off the Instagram live. Because if you also think about it, Shane's image is Ryland's image at this point. They both make each other income because they're kind of like a family YouTuber relationship without the familyness. You know what I mean? It's like a relationship vlogger style. A lot of people watch Ryland's videos because they see Shane, which is very important to note because in Ryland's recent video it has Shane in it because that's normal for Ryland's content. Normally Ryland gets views by having Shane in the title. Girl, Ryland, we have one thing in common. It's that, baby. Mwah! Love you. Sorry. A lot. And that's important to note as well because that kind of explains why Ryland had to take a break as well on YouTube. So Shane has been silent ever since. And Ryland and Morgan were silent up until they both broke their silence. Now let's talk about this. So Morgan Adams broke her silence by posting a video called A Chat About Life. In this video, she talks about Shane and how the Shane that she's now seeing online is not the Shane that she knows, which I've said this before, your perception doesn't equal out or deny someone else's. Also, of course, she's gonna have a really good experience with Shane for the main reason that she's literally his sister-in-law, right? So that was her breaking her silence and it didn't really go down well. She got a lot of backlash on Twitter because of this, and especially in her YouTube comments. People were not eating this up because she was the first one to do it. She did it before Ryland. Then, just over a week ago, Morgan posted another video called Truth or Drink Exposing My Family, and Shane is in the background, you can hear him, and this was just another video that she posted, but this was a literal month, nearly 2 months after she posted that A Chat About Life, because that video really didn't go down well, and I think it was basically testing the waters on how much Morgan could come back to YouTube and how associated she was with Shane, and I thought it was interesting that she actually talked about Shane in that video because she really didn't have to, because a lot of people now are just kind of like, yeah, this is Ryland's mess, not Morgan's, but she still did it, they're family, and they're talking. Ryland, on the other hand, was silent for longer. His last video before the actual, you know, cancellation, again, hate saying that, was cooking my sister's favorite meal, and Shane is seen in this video and it's really awkward, and a lot of people, including myself, were like, this relationship seems to be in a bad place right now. Again, I admit I probably wasn't respecting boundaries and I apologize to both of them for that. Looking back, I apologize. But in the video, it's very clear to see that there was something not going right within the relationship. Shane was very out of it, over in the corner, and Ryland and Morgan were making jokes and Shane wasn't laughing, he was filming it. They literally said, Shane, are we not funny? Why aren't you laughing? And it was just very awkward, and that was kind of Ryland's last video before he went on a break, right? Then, just over a month ago, Ryland posted a video called My Past, My Present, and My Future. It's important to note that these videos by Ryland were all sponsored because he knew they were going to get views, so sponsored, get your money. Okay? I think that kind of shows your intentions, right? But hey, he wasn't able to upload videos, so you may as well get that sponsorship, right? Or at least that's the attitude I think they have. In this video, Ryland addresses the Shane stuff. Basically, that they're trying to move on, that the Shane he knows now is not that Shane, the same shite that Morgan said. They can't really say so much, and I remember I saw a comment and it was like, people associated with Shane who continue to support him can only say a certain amount of things because at a certain stage they can't defend him anymore, and they just kind of have to be like, oh, that was an old, you know what I mean? So, Ryland did that same thing. Then Ryland posted a video over a week ago called Our Bedroom Makeover Reveal, including Shane in the thumbnail and Shane in the video, and a lot of people did not like this. His Instagram comments, so negative. The YouTube comments are weirdly positive considering that it has so many dislikes, so obviously some filtering going on in there.
Allegedly.
And just overall, it seems like people aren't ready for Shane back on the internet yet, and that includes Ryland showing him. And then this poses the question of how responsible are the people for Shane's actions that are kind of around him. That goes for Ryland and Morgan, especially since they're public figures too. Personally, I believe that Ryland is more responsible than Morgan, because Morgan is Ryland's family, so there's kind of, you know, like a step down. It's like Shane, Ryland, Morgan. In my opinion, at least. And it's also interesting to note that in summer, whenever the peak drama was happening with Jeffree and Shane, Morgan actually took it upon herself to distance herself with Jeffree by unfollowing him. And then Jeffree unfollowed her a couple days later because he's just petty like that. So the question that I want answered, and I asked my subscribers for your opinion, I'm gonna say my own as well, is this uploading schedule isn't really normal for either of them, including Morgan. As I said before, she only uploads a couple of videos a month, but the timing of the chat about life, then the new one, there was a really big distance in between them that normally isn't there. And it was almost, in my opinion, testing the waters, and the waters were not ready, so jump back out. And then Ryland was even more interesting because Ryland posted that video, the my past, my present, and my future, talking about Shane and got an overwhelming amount of backlash, and then he never uploaded again until a week ago. So that was an even bigger gap in between, right? And that was definitely testing the waters, and especially it's really interesting that he posted that video and it didn't get a good response, him talking about Shane and kind of defending him, which of course he's going to do, like, whatever, was not received well. And then his video coming back, you would think he would at least post one more video that was just kind of him, you know, like one more leaping stone, but no, it was a video where Shane was in it, and they said it was pre-recorded and stuff, but in my opinion it really makes no difference because you're responsible for hitting upload, whether it's pre-recorded or not. It's so easy just to get in front of a camera and be like, hey guys, I'm gonna upload this instead of a pre-recorded video, in my opinion. And this is coming from a YouTuber to a YouTuber, right? So here's some of my subscribers' opinions, and I'm gonna comment on them too. So I basically just said to them, I was like, isn't it weird how Morgan and Ryland both officially came back to YouTube, then just completely disappeared again? Testing the waters, but it must have been too soon. But in my opinion, Morgan is a little bit different than Ryland, and a lot of people seem to have that opinion as well, where we're like, yeah, Morgan is kind of just a little bit different. I want to hear what your opinion is on that too, but at the same time, I still do think she's responsible because she is still defending him, but family, and it's like really weird for her, and I don't know if she really could speak out against him because then that would start a full family drama. You know what I mean? I understand where she comes from. Do I? Maybe. Sid said, honestly, I feel bad for Morgan more than anything because her content is super unproblematic, which is true, said that at the start of the video, and I don't think she's ever been in any scandals before. But her brother is marrying Shane, so she got caught up in this, and what is she supposed to do, question mark. Publicly come out against her family? She's really in the worst place right now, and yeah, it's basically like any move she really makes right now, if she supports Shane publicly, it kind of hurts her public image, but if she, you know, goes against that, it hurts her personal image, so it's... Good luck, sis. Samantha said, obviously they're being attacked right now, and Morgan has always been on and off with YouTube. I see it as more of a break for them than anything else. Red said, I mean, she shouldn't defend Shane, but she really shouldn't be losing her career over his choices either. Speaking of choices and Shane, when do you think he's gonna make an actual apology where he addresses everything? And in my opinion, I don't think he can make an apology anymore. I think he can just do a video explaining, right? I had a conversation with a couple of my subscribers in DMs about this, and they were like, yeah, I agree with you. It's more of like an explanation needed now than like an apology, right? Sean said, yeah, I think Morgan took a big hit when she made her post, and I think it was really interesting that Morgan was the first one to break her silence, because if you think about it, she got the biggest backlash, and it was almost like, yeah, let's do Morgan and let her do it instead of Ryland, because he'll... Right? What do you think about that? She must have had a lot of post-posting regret. She might have had a lot of ton of information to process, and I will totally give her a pass on that. Ryland, however, most definitely. He was testing the waters, trying to gauge the reaction and hopefully get back out there so that they could get that money. It's Kayla said, I really think that Morgan is trying to uncover the truth and actually get away and distance herself from not only Shane, but the entire situation. Also, to the fuckers who make fun of the way I say situation, fuck you. FG said, Morgan, just drop the guy publicly and don't say his name again. As easy as that. Tamara said, I feel like Morgan is trying to process what's happening and distance herself from Shane because she's not a problematic person at all. Ryland, on the other hand, may be thinking about ending his relationship or is trying to help Shane with his comeback. I 100% he's not ending the relationship and believe that he's just trying to help with the comeback. Enigma said, bringing in quick money. They knew these would get so many views, they banked on it and then split. It's always money with these guys, and that's very important to note as well, that they knew that any videos they uploaded during this time, especially with the title like a chat about life, and Ryland being like past, present, and future, which is very leaning into, you know, the Shane situation. They knew it was gonna get views. More money. Okay. Especially Ryland's being sponsored. Stevie said they have to be careful since their careers are on the line. I think that's what they're doing, especially Morgan. She had absolutely nothing to do with the Shane drama and doesn't deserve to lose her whole career because of him. Christine said being associated with Shane brought them views and attention. No, that isn't the attention that they want. They had to say something at some point, which is why they made those videos, which were really oddly, similarly worded. Now they're laying back, either hoping this all blows over or trying to figure out what to do next. Night M said, I think Morgan is actually just trying to live her best life. Ryland, however, I low-key think he was just testing the waters for Shane. Like, oh, this is how they responded to me when I mentioned you, so maybe wait a little longer. Sonny said they are trying to rebuild PR for Shane, but when they stated that they were still with him, they weren't ready for the backlash. I hope they both know what they are doing by trying to associate with someone with such a shameful history. They might as well be sacrificing their career to the Lord and Savior Shane Dawson. I didn't like either of their videos and felt very manipulated by them. They both feature the best sides of Morgan and Ryland, reinforcing that they are good and likable people while sprinkling in a surface level defense of Shane Dawson, which is true as well. And they both did the kind of same thing. People who might not know everything would watch these videos being like, well, Shane must not be that bad because look, these two people still like them and I like him. Which is honestly sad, especially for Morgan. I like her content a lot, but she clearly has no intention of distancing herself from this person. They called him a bunch of words, but I'm not gonna read them out, so...
Allegedly.
Okay. I'm a fat rat. Interesting name. Said, I personally like Morgan. I feel like she's trying to distance herself as much as she can from the situation, but Ryland has just always been a bit off for me. Kat said, seems like they're supporting him and standing their ground. I don't know, it's all weird to me. Elizabeth said, Ryland loves money. He is extremely materialistic and money motivated. I think he will stay with Shane because he follows trends and he follows the money. That's the kind of person he is. I think Morgan may move back to Colorado permanently. She seems to have not found a way to fit in or a niche in herself in LA. And it's also interesting to note, a lot of people come for the commentary, journalist, drama channels and say, stop talking about Ryland and Shane. And it's really interesting that Ryland's career was doing the same thing. Ryland worked for a YouTube network that literally was a drama channel. They talked about celebrities and then mostly YouTubers, including Shane Dawson. So if you're gonna be like, you can't talk about them, bitch, the person who's engaged to Shane did that. So, how are you gonna defend that? But guys, I wanna know what your opinion is of this. I definitely think they were testing the waters, definitely, and it wasn't really received well, to say the least, right? What do you think they should do next, and what do you think Morgan should do next, or what do you think she will do next? I definitely think she's just gonna move back to Colorado and be a YouTuber there, and you know what? I would watch. Well, would I? I mean, I would like to think I would. Because I don't not like Morgan as a person, I think she genuinely is just a nice person. So, let me know what your opinion is on that. What do you think about them testing the waters, both of them and Shane kind of going through them, seeing where his public image is, and especially that video Ryland posted where he's in the thumbnail and it's like pre-recorded. Like, how are you feeling? Let me know. And let's talk about it, right? Okay? And allegedly Bear and I say goodbye. Peace. Oh my god. It was like a cough and a burp. That was the Shane voodoo.